Alrighty then, another match against Mini Flo this time. I'm going to play first. Thank you very much. Let's say we'll have fun and let's start mulliganing like dum-dums. So this might work. I'm going to put the journey on the bottom, or maybe in the DB's cover-up. The thing that made me queasy about this is that journey is very difficult to cast, even if we have the colors here, because we want to fetch blue, of course. But yeah, if we find another fetch, we could have another removal spell, which can be very useful in several matchups. And let's be honest, DB's cover-up isn't the best card in your opening hand. You kind of want to have access to it in your deck, but not in your opener. So they keep 6, which is okay. We are kind of on the same ground now. Plains and a Faithful. Ooh, this is cool. We are going to test our deck versus probably Familiars, which is one of my favorite decks. This is kind of the worst card that we could have drawn. But if we find Brainstorm Shuffle, we still have some value to take with that. And we can also start just January's Edict them, but I don't think that's very useful. Mostly because we don't care about them gaining life. If we win, we are going to win by decking them, most probably. They have a lot of blockers for our Arbor of Bolas, so it's going to be difficult, unless we have a way of just having a lot of removal spells. They shuffle with Ponder, so that's good news. This is a cool land. Yeah, I hadn't actually seen this. Oh, they are from Seneca Rising. That makes sense. Okay, we're going to start just countering almost anything. So this is a bit clunky, but we want to start just trying our counter spells because we aren't going to be able to use them all the time because we don't have enough mana, you know. So they crack the volumes while trying to wait for a plains, which is kind of weird. Normally they don't do that. I don't know what this means, if I'm being honest. As you know already, we are going to sandbag this brainstorm until we have a way of shuffling. Let's see, so they have another island in hand. That makes sense. 4 mana, and we are going to counter this. And to always heal to that. So let's see. Yeah, that's kind of rough. We'll still have a Circle of Protection green in your hand, which is kind of what you signed up what we signed up when we played this deck, but nothing we can do. Angelic Renewal. Okay, I didn't expect to see that card. I have to let that resolve because it doesn't do much. Okay. Frantic Inventory. So I think I'm going to pass and discard the Circle of Protection. It's not doing much in our hand either, and I don't want to play incorrectly to not discard when we have something that we want to discard. So they're probably going to be like, what the hell, why this guy has a Circle of Protection green in their main deck? But it does make sense, you know. So they are going to pass the turn, and we are not going to pass the turn, okay. So let's see, shuffle with Ash Barrens. Island, they play the island, yeah. I like these lands, these lands are actually cool. Let's see what they play. Deep Analysis, okay. We can't counter both parts proficiently. I'm going to let that resolve. Just Frantic Inventory. It's kind of a bummer, but nothing we can do. Okay, we found a land. Yeah, going to pass now. We have a journey, we can exile something, so it works around Angelic Renewal. So the thing is, normally familiar decks don't play Angelic Renewal, so this might be just a blue-white flicker using Godfather's Faithful against Stomp and such, because it provides so much life. And here I'm going to counter the Deep Analysis Flashback because, well, because we have 3 counterspells in our hand, you know? Okay, that's a good topic. Yeah, I think I'm going to Chain Arcidic then, just to clear the way for another Chain Arcidic in the future. The thing is, they didn't Deep Analysis, which is kind of interesting. Not so sure why. Yeah, if they used their Angelic Renewal there, I would be very surprised. So maybe they have a lot of counterspells and they are waiting for us to do something. The thing is, maybe they don't know, we don't have anything to do. Okay, now I don't understand why they play Strip River Winder. Maybe they have like Resurrection or whatever it's called, Breath of Life or whatever. Let's see. Like blue-white Reanimator would be very interesting to see. So far they played all good cards, just interesting to see. Yeah, I'm just going to play this now. Again, we are just waiting to see if we find something for the brainstorm. Okay, so they have 7 cards in hand. Maybe they weren't able to deploy anything, so they didn't want to discard hand size. They are evoking a Muddle. Yeah, they could draw like 8 cards. Going to counter. If they counter back and then we can kill it, then we are fine with that. Sure. So they're going to basically Necropotence here. Kind of a delayed Ephemerate, but only works once. So they go to 9 cards in hand. They already played a land, so they have to discard. Or maybe they didn't play a land. No, they didn't. Okay, they just have to discard 1. Okay, that's not so bad, isn't it? And I'm probably going to use the Chainers now, because it's the one that comes worse the more time it passes. We can actually shuffle with Latnam's Legacy, I just realized that. So that's good. Then Scoot. That's what they do. If they counter, snap. I need to counter that, right? Yeah. It's kind of bad for us, but we can't let them do that. So after seeing the Strip River Winder, I don't think they are on familiars, I don't think. I could have kept that Plains to shuffle. It would have made sense. Kind of sad I didn't realize that sooner. So we are behind on cards. Faithful is fine. That's why we wanted to play the Chain Arcidic, it was useful. 4 or 5 mana. Muldrifter. Sure. I'm going to exile that with Journey, so I don't want to use that now. I could shuffle the Brainstorm with Latnam's Legacy. Yeah, I'm going to just untap. Let's play the Journey first. If they have the Ephemerate, we have the counterspell. Snap on Muldrifter. Again, we are going to counter that. We need to resolve our removal spells. Just accept the 2-for-1s. Nothing we can do about that. Let's see what we find now. So those are fine. This is a draw 2. So I think I'm going to go like this. So we draw Augur of Bolas now. We drew Augur of Bolas, we drew the Ash Barrens, and we can use the Augur of Bolas to find the other the card draw spell, the Frantic Inventory. Let's see what they do now. They have all the time in the world to deploy 4 mana using all their white, which is interesting. Yeah, they had a Resurrection. So that's interesting. I think it makes sense because they also play like Muddrifter and such, so resurrecting that makes sense too. We're going to Muddrifter too. You are so far behind. It was a bit unfortunate because we had a kind of a clunky hand, so yeah. I'm going to start with an Augur. And if we need to... Okay. Yeah, let's take from inventory. Draw 2. Kind of an interesting group on the opponents. The reality is that against an aggressive deck, they're going to lose very hard because they don't have a lot of things to do against aggro. I should have fetched the other the other black, right? I think so. Going to brainstorm in response, because if we find the Echoing Truth, we can bounce this and they have to exile something of their own. Okay, they are going to counter that. They are basically using all their cards they can because they have so much more than us. They even still have the deep analysis in the graveyard. Everything went to shit when we countered, when we didn't have counters for the Muddrifter. Okay. I'm going to shuffle them out in mixture actually. Cast down is useful, kind of. Frantic Inventory is also useful. Yeah, just take this. Okay, it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, so we can Echo Indicate the Muddrifter and still have access to Diffuse Cover-Up. We can't play around Snap, we can't play around anything really. Okay, Counterspell is at least fine. Yeah, I'm going to let that resolve. I can actually shuffle with Diffuse Cover-Up. Probably going to shuffle 1 Frantic Inventory, Chainers, and maybe 2 Counterspells or Counterspell and a Preordain. The problem with those Faithful is that they work very well against our Chainers because we don't care about them, so they are basically a blank. But yeah, we are not going to headbutt an ephemerate. Yeah, I'm going to counter that. Where is my got it. Preordain. I was searching for preordain. So, yep, with this resolve a counter spell, but we are dead on board. It's kind of a let's start with a preordain. Maybe they counter that. They just pass the turn without doing anything. So this means that we can go for start with inventory. Circle of Protection Blue is great. I forgot we had that. Oh man, I forgot we had that. So we can go for Circle of Protection Blue. Play the Aqueduct. So now they don't have that out to win against us. And we have to activate for 2, so we are going to look for a counter spell. Well, the mixture is okay. And we are going to win by decking them, honestly. There is no other way we can win here. Do I tech 2 with the Muldrifter? I don't think so. That was a good draw, isn't it? Okay, so let's just stop the damage from that Muldrifter. So yeah. And we can start deploying Hour of Bolas just to remove spells. There is not much we can do. So this was an interesting matchup. I should have played there to find that. I actually shuffled and muddled the mixture because I forgot we had the Circle of Protection, which is kind of funny if you think about it. They're going to snap their... okay, just going to pass the turn. Yeah, you can snap and recast your Muldrifter. It's fine. Circle protections are weird. I don't know why this doesn't target, but I'm not going to be mad about that, honestly. They are leaving mana open to find another resurrection. Probably trying to resurrect this Archaeomancer so they can start looping counterspells. Yep, that's exactly what happened. They're probably going to get the resurrection now. That would be my guess. And I can start by killing their Archaeomancer and countering the resurrection. I think that would be appropriate. No, they find a counterspell, so it means that they have other ways of dealing with things. I'm going to start with a cast down here while they are tapped out. So we play this. We have enough to play like Muddle. Yeah, right, Muddle, a lot of activations. Brainstorm is okay. I'm not going to use the Chainers because it doesn't really accomplish much. I want to save it for I want to save it for when we can kill their Riverwinder. So we need to remember that they have a counterspell in their hand. Deep analysis with flashback, that's fine. They draw themselves, which is also fine. They find the planes. So we can still lose here if they find a way of just looping our resurrections each turn and just put a lot of creatures into play and infinite counterspells. Well, we still will win with a Circle of Protection, but if they can answer it with something like, I don't know, an Oblivion Ring, we could just lose on the spot. So we have to keep that in mind. So we can start flashbacking the chainers. I think I'm going to do that just to use our mana and to start answering their board, removing the faithfuls. Not that this does much, but something that we can do. Well, we could, if we do that, we end up a bit tapped out, so we don't want to do that, I don't think. Here I'm going to let this resolve because we want to keep double Muddle in case they go for Resurrection with counter backup. It's very difficult to play around everything, especially when you're against a deck that you don't really know. Yeah, I'm going to pass. So, yeah, I could have gone for the Brainstorm, but it doesn't really make that much sense in my opinion. And this way we have open 3 Muddle mixtures. So we have only 1 counterspell in their deck, which is kind of annoying. And if they find another, well, Rewinder, I don't care, but more Archaeomancers can be rough. I would expect them to play more than 1 Resurrection if they play this card. But in reality it's also like a cantrip, so you don't really mind it. Let's see if they continue attacking. Oh, he's cover up. So yeah, so they were asking for the win condition, so I'm going to say sorry because really it's a really slow win condition, let's be honest here. So I'm not seeing us winning here. So they say no problem, so they are cool with that. Let's just remove this, bring in this. This I'm going to keep. Probably want this too. Chase's Erasure. It actually works. I mean, they like Chase's Erasure. I'm going to bring in the Chainers because I expect them to take out some of the fluff. What else? Gundam's Legacy is kind of bad, so we take out 3 cards. We need to take out 2 more. Maybe like Journey or even Echo in Truth. Well, Echo in Truth is an answer to journeys of their own. Seal of Cleansing is a better answer to journey. And let's see. So they are probably... So I think Journey is going to be worse versus them because they're going to bring in Enchantment Destruction for sure. And Model the Mixture tutors for everything, so that's good. I don't know what to take out honestly. Maybe an Augur. Yeah, maybe an Augur. It's a good card, of course, but doesn't really put any pressure versus them. I expect them to not have the Godfather's Faithful. And if they have, they kind of they kind of read through the line, so saw through the line or whatever. So I'm going to actually go for... Okay, so please play a land. Okay. Okay, they kept the Godfather Faithful, which is kind of interesting because it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think I'm going to cycle for a black here so we can play like Augur of Bolas. or ponder if we don't find a land. So we saw Snaps, Resurrection, and the enchantment that I forgot the name, actually Renewal. So they had that. I didn't see Ephemerate, but I would expect them to have Ephemerate, honestly. Also, maybe one Ghostly Figure at least. Okay. So I have the Changer's Edict for this, but I don't need to remove it now. So we said we are not going to win with damage. Yeah, let's fetch the swamp. It kind of sucks, but whatever. I'm going to go for Ponder because we didn't draw land. Yeah, I like this. I like this very much. So I'm going to keep like this. We are on the draw, so if I play this, I have to discard. Whatever. I'm going to discard maybe even the hour. Let's see how it goes. So they go for another ponder. They went for preordained last turn. They went bottom bottom, so they are probably going to search for lands. That would be my guess. Normally, when you see this amount of cantripping in early turns, it normally means they are fetching lands. Interesting that they play preordained and ponder, so they have a healthy number of cantrips. And also they have at least one of the serpents that cycle. They shuffle again, so they are probably going to search for lands. They find that Evolving Wilds though. They're going to fetch right away, which is interesting too. Maybe just for F6 value. And I could pass with mana up just to counter Muldrifter Ephemerate. If they go for Muldrifter Ephemerate, then at least we have them all for the Ephemerate. Which kind of works. It's kind of a 2-for-1 for them, but it's fine. Let's see. 4 mana. Deep Analysis. So I could counter this. I think I'm going to just use my mana. It's not efficient, it's not pretty, but whatever. Interesting that they kept this. I guess they saw the Changer's Edicts, but I would guess they have better sideboard cards. I don't know. So I can go for this and have the Devious cover up. So if they only flashback Deep Analysis, that's fine. Let's see what they go for now. Shuffle effect. Interesting. So they reveal an island, they play the island probably. Yeah. Let's see what they go for now. So if they flashback Deep Analysis, I'm going to just let that happen. Preordain is fine, I don't care about that. I could also just brainstorm and shuffle on my turn. It's better than nothing. Shuffle one card instead of two. And we don't have bad cards, so. I also like the idea of cast downing the Faithful so we can use the changers on something that's of relevance. So they don't flashback Deep Analysis, so this should mean that they have something, but they pass the turn right away, so I don't know what this means. So I'm going to put Evolving Wilds on island, draw the island, and shuffle. Oh, okay, well, I didn't do that because I'm an idiot, but whatever, it's fine. I mean, I would prefer to not draw the Evolving Wilds, but it's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. So let's see what they go for now. Angelic Renewal. I can kill that. Yeah, I don't care about that. Faithful, sure. They pass the turn with 2 mana up without casting the deep analysis. Yeah, I'm going to kill this. They could use the renewal, I don't care. They won't, of course, because it's not good. So I'm going to have Chain Acidic now, but I want to save that in case they go for a big chunker. Let's see what they have now. 2 blue mana. Huh. I don't know what they are doing now. Interesting. Interesting sequence. So they're a bit behind on time, so they need to speed up their game if they want to play in leagues and such. I would recommend that, honestly. The flashback of deep analysis. So they have 4 cards in hand. The thing is, if I go for the Devious cover-up and they have a Mood Drifter, then they just win the game right there. So I need to let this resolve, honestly. I don't have anything else to do. Ponder is fine. So if we shuffle things, we're going to shuffle Worth Bolas, Ponder, Muddle the Mixture, and cast down probably. All of these, basically, except the Brainstorm. They shuffled with Ponder, so they aren't finding what they want to find. I don't know what that is, but they're thinking a bit too much, in my opinion. Maybe they are just writing in the chat. I don't know. Oh, okay, so they scooped the match because they didn't do anything. So we had more or less the control of the game. So we could basically counter anything they played that was of relevance. We have this spellback to protect the Devious cover-up. If this match took a bit too much time, we could actually, I mean, if they didn't cast anything this turn, we could have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could have like Devious cover-up as Muddle the Mixture. So we had several things to do. Next turn we were going to draw like another chainer, so we would start chainers this to start killing their things. I think we had the upper hand here. So thank you so much. See you in the next one.